All right, let's dive into this incredible story of a bird brought back from the very, very edge of extinction. Now, this isn't just your typical conservation tale. It's really about a radical shift in thinking, one that empowered a whole community to save its own natural treasure. So, meet the star of our story, the Bali Myna. I mean, look at this bird. It's a national treasure in Bali, their only native vertebrate species. But its incredible beauty, that's actually what almost led to its downfall. It was so prized for its looks and its song that it just became this irresistible target. And that demand, well, it pushed the bird to the absolute brink. And when I say brink, I mean it. Because by 2001, this was the number of Bali Mynas known to be left in the wild. 6. Just 6 birds. Think about that for a second. An entire species, native only to this one island, reduced to a population you could literally count on one hand. So how in the world did it get so bad? And maybe more importantly, why did the first attempts to save them fail so spectacularly? Well, the reasons, as you'll see, they reveal a really fundamental flaw in how we often think about conservation. You see, the whole crisis was driven by this huge demand for caged songbirds. It made trapping the Bali Myna incredibly profitable. I mean, when a single pair of birds is worth what could be years of salary for a local, the economic pressure is just immense. And at the exact same time, their forest habitat was vanishing. It was a perfect storm. So for years, the response was pretty textbook, Organizations bred hundreds of these birds in captivity and then released them into a national park. But it was basically a revolving door. These newly released birds were just super easy targets for poachers. And the wild population, it just kept on falling. And this right here, this brilliantly illustrates the huge difference in approach. The traditional top-down model, it relied on enforcement that was frankly underfunded and really easy to get around. It never engaged the very people who were living right there alongside the birds. But the community-led model, well, it flipped the script entirely, making conservation a part of the local culture and, crucially, the local economy. So that failure, that's what brings us to the community's solution. And they built something completely different, something way more effective. This is really where the story takes a fascinating turn. So, a veterinarian named Dr. Bayu Wiriuda and other conservationists, they went from village to village. But they didn't come with a bunch of rules and fences. No, they came with a proposal. They spent years, literally years, showing up at ceremonies and community meetings just to get everyone on board with this pretty radical new plan. Now, the key to their whole plan was this concept called awig-awig. This wasn't some new law imposed from the outside. No, instead, the community itself decided to protect the birds, and they did it using their own traditional legal system, which carries just immense cultural and social weight. And we're not just talking about token fines here. The social penalties, well, they prove to be way more powerful than any formal law. Can you imagine the shame of being caught and then having to host a feast for your entire village as your punishment? I mean, all of a sudden, poaching just wasn't worth the risk. Compliance with protecting the birds shot up by nearly 1,200%. And this just perfectly illustrates the incredible transformation that happened when the community took ownership. The very people who were once seen as the problem, well, they became the solution. The whole dynamic just shifted. The Bali Myna wasn't just a bird anymore. It was a source of income, a source of pride. You had former poachers who, knew the forest better than anyone, using their skills to guide tourists. The community now had a direct financial and cultural stake in making sure this bird survived. And this quote really captures the new reality perfectly. As one village leader explained, everyone is now working together to protect the species because it directly benefits the village economy through tourism. It's a powerful win-win that the old top-down enforcement could never, ever achieve. So all of this incredible shift in strategy, what did it actually accomplish? Well, the numbers, they tell a pretty powerful story. The results have been absolutely stunning. Just look at this chart. From just 6 birds in 2001, the wild population has exploded to over 500. And this is a direct result of turning poachers into protectors and making conservation a project for the entire community. You can see the whole story unfold right here on this timeline. You can really pinpoint that turning point to 2006 when Nusa Penida adopted that awig-awig model. The success there was so obvious that it actually started to spread back to villages on the mainland, creating this whole network of community guardians.
But, and this is a really important but, it's crucial to understand that this success isn't permanent. It's really built on a fragile foundation of trust and shared benefit. As long as the communities continue to see a real, tangible advantage in protecting the Bali Myna, while the bird has a fighting chance. So, it leaves us with this powerful question, right? This whole story proves that maybe the key to saving a species isn't about building higher fences. Maybe it's about breaking down the walls between conservationists and the local communities who are the true guardians of our planet's incredible biodiversity.